This is a Renew original recording. Hello and welcome to Believe in People, a two-time Radio Academy Award nominated and British Podcast Award-winning series about all things addiction, recovery and stigma. My name is Matthew Butler and I'm your host, or as I like to say, your facilitator. Today on Believe in People, we're backstage at the Hull City Hall, quite literally. Katie Price and Kerry Katona are mid-tour for their Evening with Katie Price and Kerry Katona show, and the scene behind the curtain is exactly what you'd expect. It's loud, unfiltered, a bit chaotic and completely authentic. Somewhere between the mic checks, meet and greets and a 10-week-old puppy named Arlo trying to chew for our recording wires, we managed to sit down and have one of the most raw and honest conversations that I've recorded yet, and my first time podcasting with two guests at once as well. Katie Price is a glamour model, best-selling author and long-standing media personality. Kerry Katona is a singer, television personality and former member of Atomic Kitten. They've been friends for more than 20 years and are two of the most recognisable women in the UK. Their lives have played out across front pages and television screens in a way very few people will ever experience, and as a result, their stories provide a real-world case study of addiction, public scrutiny, relapse, mental health, motherhood, financial collapse, recovery and resilience, all under the spotlight. In this conversation, we're not revisiting headlines, we're looking underneath them. We talk about the conditions that enabled cocaine use, how fame and constant observation shape their behaviour, and how diagnosis, neurodiversity and ADHD have influenced the way that they've coped, crashed and ultimately recovered. We explore stigma, particularly the unique and often harsher judgment faced by women and mothers in addiction, and how that impacts help seeking, relapse, shame and disclosure. This episode aims to support the understanding, challenge and assumptions about who becomes dependent and why, and show that change and self-acceptance are possible, even under extreme scrutiny. I begin this conversation by asking how living so much of their lives in the public eye, through addiction, pressure, scrutiny and recovery, has shaped a bond between them that the only two of them can truly understand.
What you'll find, which is rare, which we talk about on stage, we've known each other nearly 30 years.
That's it, isn't
and
it?
Apart from our childhood, everything we've done, everything is mirrored.
Yeah.
We have
That's
gone
it,
through
yeah. There's such similarities,
same
that's it.
thing.
I think as well with it, because being in this industry, it's very few people who understand what you're going through when you have that amount of pressure on you from and that amount of focus on you from the press and from the public who actually understand what you're going through.
It, yeah.
Whereas we completely understand
So you
what
can bounce off each other as well,
feeling,
can't you? Yeah.
and knowing whether it was the drugs, the bankruptcies, we wasn't bad people. We were just lost people.
Yeah, I get that.
I was doing drugs with my mum from the age of 14.
I remember reading about that, yeah.
So I didn't know any different. And again, I've never known Katie to do drugs until she got introduced to it much later on in life, which was really shocking.
Like about 5 years ago.
And the thing is with me and Kate is we've taken accountability for our mistakes and we're trying to learn from them. If you don't, I call them lessons, not mistakes. If you don't learn from them, then they're a mistake. We were grown-ass women. You know, I should have known right from wrong. But when you're surrounded with people who are on the wrong platform that you need them to be, you kind of... If you go in a room with 6 idiots, you'll become the 7th. If you go in a room with, 6 millionaires, you can become the 7th. That's the saying. So, and it's your circle of friends. And when you have such immense pressure from not so much pressure, but they have taken a narrative of something that has gone on in our lives and ran with it without actually knowing the truth or the core reason of why we got to that stage. And then they like to push that little bit more until they have that headline that you've been found dead, because that's what it's been like, hasn't it? But fortunately, there's very few people in the industry where
we're strong.
We're sat here. We're so
yeah.
lucky. We've actually got through it. I wouldn't change any of it. People say, "What would you change?" None of it.
Yeah.
Because I won't be who I am today.
Of course, yeah, I like that. What part would cocaine have played then at its very worst in your lives?
My best friend.
Talk to me about that then, because that is something that you hear, but it's very rarely explored.
I mean, for me, a lot of people do coke socially to go out. And for me, I was introduced to it because I don't really drink much anyway. But when I do, it was all or nothing. And it was New Year's Eve and I was having a party at mine and I got drunk really quick. And
did it used to sober you up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it sobered me up for midnight. And then I was like, I didn't really take any notice of the coke after, not like, I want to do it again. But then towards the end of our relationship, coke became my friend, because I realised by doing coke, it wasn't drink. I was like you, dry doing it.
User. Never been into drink. Really.
So explain dry drug users to me then, so for someone who doesn't know.
Well, for me, it was like I would take it and it would block my mind into my own little world. I'd sit there. I didn't become loud. I was quiet in my own little world like this. And I'd write notes down of things I wanted to do and the problems on my brain. I'd be Googling answers and just mad, really. But it was the voice of, if you can take me, I'll take you to a different world, so you don't have to worry about anything else that was going on. To the point that while that was happening, all the problems that I was having got bigger. You don't start communicating. And on top of it, I was getting depression. It was just disgusting, if I'm honest. Disgusting.
Can I tell you something? You know what my psychiatrist said to me when I got diagnosed with bipolar, and especially people with ADHD?
I bet it's the same.
He said if we could prescribe cocaine, the right amounts of people with bipolar and ADHD, we would. I did ask him for a prescription, but he said no.
But that's
a true story. Yeah. That's what he said. He also said to me as well, and that goes on to this morning when I did this morning's view. No one knew I had bipolar then, and he said to me, let people know you've had a drink problem, let them know you've had a drug problem. I didn't have a drink problem, but he said you can tell people those things. Don't let anyone know you've got mental health issues, because people don't understand.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one understood the mental health, and it came hand in hand. And when I got diagnosed with ADHD, when they ask you questions and stuff, I mean, it's not just one questionnaire and you're diagnosed. Yeah. It's quite
intensive sort of thing that you go through, isn't it? Yeah.
And he said to me, have you ever done coke? And I'm like, well, yeah. And he said, when you take it, what does it do to you?
Effect, isn't it?
And it had reverse. I said, it makes me go really quiet. It's like, why would I do it? Because it's not even me. And to people who are quiet when they do coke, it makes them more sociable, loud and chatty. Just done the complete opposite to me. For me to say to myself, so why did I even do it? It just, not my personality, but it wasn't about that. It just took me away in a place away from everything that was going on.
But they're doing studies now of MDMA for PTSD as well. I mean, I've done ayahuasca. I've also done the microdosing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that anyone should ever do this, but I've looked in things relentlessly. I've gone down the whole spiritual route, and I've done all that. Like, the ayahuasca was just mental.
I couldn't do that. She's told me about it. It scares the
Talk me through that then, for someone who doesn't know what that is. What's that about?
Ayahuasca is a medicine from the Amazon, and I had a shaman, and I do a lot. I've read Think and Grow Rich, Power of Now, Secret. I've done so much work on myself, and then I was reading so many autobiographies, and I love Graham Hancock, Bob Proctor, Lisa Nichols, Les Brown. I'm big into affirmations and meditation and all that kind of stuff. And the more people I was listening to, they all started. Unless you're on that route, you start bumping into people who've done ayahuasca. I'd never heard of it before. And then all of a sudden, randomly, I'm meeting people who do it. I thought, maybe this is something I should do. I read Will Smith's book. He did it 14 times. Prince Harry's done it. Very, very successful people and people who've been in recovery. It's really good for people in recovery, actually. Go down the route of ayahuasca. And it was something I wanted to do. But my God, having to surrender yourself, because not having done drugs in 17 years, this is more of a psychedelic spiritual journey. It's not a recreational thing. I mean, I was fucking pissing and shitting unicorns and musical notes and rainbows because you purge. So you're vomiting, but you're on the most intense journey I've ever been on. But the 6 months after doing that, I had 3 emotional breakdowns because I actually went in it to heal from my childhood. I never got upset. I never used to get emotional over my childhood. But then I started. Come on in.
That's all right.
Hello.
Teas and coffees.
Oh, yes.
This is our drug.
This is our drug. Tea and coffee and biscuits.
It's funny because when we do our show, people wouldn't do meet and greets before. I bet you know.
I'd love to go on a party. We've had people turn up with coke in their nose.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So people are turning up for the wrong reasons.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because the narrative that had been portrayed about me and Kate, just from a time, a period where we were lost.
Yeah.
Where we have been lost, they're turning up saying, oh, yeah, Kerry and Kate, we'll go out, get on it, get off it.
Do you think being famous made it easier or harder to recognise that you had a problem with cocaine?
No, I'm sorry, but my drug career started well before I was famous. I was 14. I was in a foster home. And I was only allowed to have supervised visits with my mum. And I snuck off to the pub to see my mum. And my mum was with her girlfriend at the time. And her and her girlfriend went in the toilet and they was in there for ages. I was only 14. And I went in to see what she was up to. So what's taking so long? She had a bag of white powder. I said, what's that? She went, here. She had it sherbet and rubbed it on my gum.
Oh, wow.
It was speed. I had a fucking great day. I did. I thought it was brilliant. And that was it for me. And then I used to save my pocket money up from my foster parents and go get a wrap of whiz with my mum. I thought it was normal.
Yeah.
So it was so normalised for me. I didn't know any different. So I thought people who didn't do drugs were snobs. And then a boyfriend introduced me to coke. Then I started doing it with my mum. This is well before I was famous.
Yeah.
So I never really did drugs in the celebrity circles. Mine was always when I went back home to Warrington with my mum and friends. That was, so for me it wasn't the showbiz. I never really went to showbiz parties or anything like that really. It was always, I was brought up like with, you know, people on gyros and, you know, we was in refuges and like really rough upbringing. That was my normal.
What about
and
yourself?
for me, no, the showbiz that's not why I did it. I was late at starting it, as I said, and I was probably one of the only ones who never did do it.
I was really shocked when I found out Kate.
Yeah, all the parties, you name it, I've been to them all.
Shocked.
The Playboy Mansion parties, you know, been there, done it, the Oscars, never touched it then. It was only towards, probably 5 or 6, what was it, 5 or 6 years ago, I don't know exactly, when he introduced me to it, at a time when everything was then already escalated in my brain. So I was very late. Basically self-medicating. And but as soon as I got into it, I got out of it as quick as I could.
For me, I think fame exposed it.
That's it, because you're under scrutiny a lot more, aren't you?
That's what it did for me. It was like the worst kept secret that Kerry was doing drugs. And I had a breakdown when my first husband left. And I went to Arizona and I was clean for like 6 weeks. And when I came home, my mum was like, I've ordered one of them. Because we used to have a tray we used to put in the oven to hide from people with a pipe. That was our thing. That's what we did.
It's so weird when you say, I've ordered one of them, because it puts me back in that time where you sort of get excited that you know it's there. It's so weird.
You used to need a poo.
Yeah,
You used to need
a dready poo, I called it.
before you used to get it.
It's so weird when you just
it?
went, I've got a packet.
But you know what else I think about that makes me feel so sick? Like my
Even
toes
the
are curling. Look
smell
at
of it and that.
My toes are curling. No, it's those fucking birds.
Oh, the daylight.
The daylight.
When you're scratching like that at the packet.
And then the downer hits you and you just go on that, I mean, I OD'd
worst.
twice on coke. And when my mum said she ordered one, Mark Croft walked in the door. He was my mum's drug dealer. So I married him because I thought I was going to get a discount. I didn't. I lost all my money instead.
But the
If you don't laugh, you're bloody cry.
The similar thing with me and Kerry again, because no one knew I did it. How I was exposed was my ex-boyfriend, when my mum was dying, basically, and I couldn't go and see her, and I had all the other bankruptcy things all on my case, and he secretly videoed me crying, I was, and he's going, go on, why aren't you seeing your mum? Why don't you tell it? It's because you're doing coke.
Was he doing it with you?
Yeah. He's doing it
See,
with
what
me.
kind of man does that so his intentions are completely different. My ex-husband did the same. He secretly videoed me taking coke in the bathroom.
And he sold it to the papers and he put it out on Instagram.
Okay, so it's just trying to make a quid off you, basically.
Yeah, he put mine out on Instagram.
That's fucked up,
and ours was in the papers.
That's what they sold mine, I think.
Taking advantage of when your weakness.
Yeah.
But
Rather
he was
than
doing
going,
it with me.
Look, you clearly need
some help, yeah.
But because men get so attached to the fame and the name that comes along with us that they just start using it. And it's almost like they try to manipulate you, beat you, bring you down so that you need them and keep you hooked on this stuff. Like, I know Matt Croft got someone to put that camera in because I needed him then. And I lost everything. But it's the best thing you ever did.
It's hard to put myself in that position where I could see myself doing that to somebody
else.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
That's it,
this is where the fame fucks people up.
Okay,
Not us.
No.
I've never changed. You've seen us. We've come in here. We're just dead normal. We've never fucking changed.
I'm surprised at how normal you are, to be honest. I don't know what I was expecting, but like I said, just the normality of it.
Everyone says it. I tried to use money and drugs to please people, to show how down to earth I was. And for me, it was like the only way I can describe it is like being in a tribe. And every time you try and bet yourself, that tribe, it's a reminder that they're going nowhere. So they try and pull you back down to keep you at their level because they know they can't get past. That's what my problem was. I was never addicted to drugs. Walking away from drugs was quite easy. It was walking away from my circle of my community. And that's when I moved 340 miles away. Yeah. I moved down south. All my kids are Southerners. I'm back up north now, but I'm a different person, a stronger person. And that's what it was for me. Giving up cigarettes was really fucking hard, she says.
And this is the thing. So mine's the same as Kerry's. I moved out of the house, got rid of all the people around me who I knew weren't good or helping me or understanding what I was going through, even they knew I was going through it, because they were all doing it as well. And anyone out there, you've got to help yourself and you've got to look at your situation. And as soon as I got rid of the people, moved out, started up new, we've realised we don't need any friends. We've got each other. We've got our family, our kids. That's all you need.
Don't need new people
and
in
it was
life.
easy for me to get off it because
they've gone.
They were the people who were ordering it.
And unfortunately as well, and this is we talk about this on the tour and on stage, unfortunately we live in a society where people thrive off watching people fall off their pedestal. Yeah. They thrive on gossip and bad news and that someone who's successful has fallen. I understand it. I get it. I mean, I picked a magazine up before with me and Kate on the cover, read a 2-page spread about Kate and go, oh, no, she's not. Oh, my God. And I'm pulled in. And I start feeling good about myself, thinking, well, my life's not that bad. Turn the page in the same magazine, 2-page spread about myself, and go, well, that's sort of fucking bullshit. And I realise that gossip is a stress release, and we all like a bit of a gossip. But unfortunately, when you're the person you're gossiping about constantly, it gets to a point that we've self-medicated, we've tried to take our own lives, because we're then portrayed as the villains. We're trash, we're slags, we're this, we're bad mothers. We were doing wrong things, but we wasn't we just really lost and needed help. Yeah. But nobody wanted to help because they're too enthrived in the gossip and the downfall of that person. And that's what society is, and that's why we're doing this tour. It's about straightening each other's crown and helping lift each other.
I think there's a lot of things there, and I mean, I've always heard the saying that people like to see you doing well, but not doing better than them. And I think that links to what you were saying about them social circles. And then with that, I mean, that resonates with me too. But I think really, in terms of like having your entire life documented in the way that it is done.
But that's the thing. We have been so happy and we still love documenting our life. That's not the problem. The problem isn't us documenting our life. We love doing reality shows. We love entertaining.
Yeah.
But it's the people we've surrounded ourselves with and what they've caused to us that's caused the mental health problems. And years ago, no one knew what mental health was. If they did,
you wasn't allowed to talk about it.
Maybe I wouldn't have gone the paths that I did. Yeah. But then you're attracted to the wrongness.
So that's why we want to talk about it, to help others, to say, look, it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up, and don't be embarrassed by your fall. You're a fucking human being at the end of the day. And if we can do it so publicly. I truly believe we have this platform for a reason, and that is to tell our story, hoping it helps somebody. Because there's no one out there for us to look up to and go, I relate to that. You know, men are very glorified, but women, we're torn down, and especially back in the fucking day.
Katie, in your book, you wrote a little poem called Dear Cocaine, and I've got it here. Would you read it for me?
Yeah. So when I was in therapy, I'm just going to pass the dog to Heidi. Good boy. Baby. So this letter is when you're in therapy, when I was in the Priory, you had to write a letter to whatever was your
appreciations and your confrontations.
So this was mine, and in my latest book, I wanted everyone to see the letter that I wrote to cocaine. So I wrote, Dear Cocaine, you're not my friend. You got hold of me at the wrong time. How dare you? You are affecting me and you are affecting my family. You aren't letting me be the mum I want to be. I can't be the mum I want to be because of you. Fuck you. You will never be in my life again. I hate you, Kate. And it's weird how I'd say it about my children. Obviously, it affected everything in my life. But to me, it's my kids and my family and my everything. So that's why I wrote it against them, about my family and kids. But it's weird, although my kids wouldn't have noticed what I was going through, they didn't know. But I knew, and I knew how it was affecting me. So I think it's good for anyone, even if you're not in therapy, think about what the drug or the addiction is you're doing and just write a letter. Because I think once you've written a letter and it comes out of your brain and you've written it down, it sort of, you know, releases it.
Because I think there's a double A then. You talk about like motherhood there, and I think, you know, for women in recovery, I think there's this.
They get much harder.
It's a double layer of scrutiny because.
Well, it is. I mean, let me just give you a quick example. And I love Ant and Dec, I truly do. Really good friends of mine, and I applaud Ant McPartlin's sobriety. I truly, truly do. But look at me on this morning, right? Yeah. Pure bipolar medication. I have no reason to fucking lie whatsoever. No reason to lie. And I've shoved enough shit up my nose. But when Ant McPartlin went through his troubled time, crashing his car, off his note, whatever, 8 months later, he's winning awards. No one ever speaks of it again. But when you're a woman, especially when you're a mother, people don't let it go. It's almost glorified with men. I was watching Piers Morgan's Life Stories, and Rod Stewart was on it because I adore Rod Stewart. And he was sat there and he's talking about orgies, and Piers is laughing. He's talking about the drugs, and Piers is laughing. If Kate or myself sat on there talking about the same things, he would be disgusted. So it's accepted for men and almost glorified, and you kind of put in like this Jack the Lad, oh yeah, you're a fuck boy kind of thing, or you've got, look at the Boris Johnson, 7 kids, there's 5 different women, his last kid was born, the nation applauded. We have 5 children to 3 different men and we're slags, away we go again. We wasn't like a 9-year-old kid going, and when I grow up, I want to get married 3 times, I want 5 children to 3 different men. That wasn't our dream. We got the wrong partners, but we got the right kids. But we're made to be the ones in the wrong. But none of these fucking men have stepped up and helped me bring them up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel about that? Like,
we're just judged wrongly. Yeah. And bringing up the Ant thing, you never read about it again. But I guarantee any headline or any story about me and Kerry, they will always bring into it, oh, bankrupt, they had addiction, trouble, this, that. It's like we've made a full circle. People don't realise, number one, how hard it is to make the change. It is very hard to pick yourself up and want to change and pull it into process. The hardest thing ever. And it's hard to keep going. It's so easy to fall back. But you've got to think of what comes out of it, being positive, keep going. It opens up a new world. And you've just got to keep going.
Get the credit where credit's due. Yeah. You just don't. People don't like to let go of your past, especially when you're a woman. It's been a given to trash the likes of Katie and myself.
That's it. It's almost. I was thinking about this because I mean, my first introduction to you both was when you did the jungle for the first time. I mean, what year was that?
21 years ago.
That's what year would that have been then?
2004.
2004. So yeah, I'd have only been like 11, 13, I think, roughly then. But you've been in that's it. And I think since then you've always been in tabloid newspapers, but I think with you two, for some reason, it's almost felt like it was fair game to take shots at you.
It is fair game.
So why do you think that is for you two specifically?
I think there's a new generation of journalism now. Back then in the day, you had the News at World. Like, when you're in a girl band, there's always one member of that girl band that the press focus on, especially if you've got big tits and you gobber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because I had so many skeletons in my closet, my mum was a lesbian, I was in foster home, I was in refuges, my mum always used to self-harm. My first memory was watching a slut race. I became a page 3 model. I did the glamour modelling thing before Atomic Kitten. They hone in on it. And then when you start dating a boy band member from Westlife, who were the biggest boy band in the world at the time, they focus in on that and they kind of put you up on a pedestal. And then when Brian cheated, you know, I've never experienced anything like it. And then obviously we did the jungle together. And I do these shows as Kate does as well for the memories, for the adventures, because that's all we're going to take with us at the end of it. It's all we have. And I'm this kid from Foster going thinking, fucking hell, this is great. You know what I mean? Just to create a memory that's a wholesome, nice adventure. But when they put you up there, as soon as something happens, you're right, it's almost fair game. But we're the kind of celebrity from an era where it was accepted for the paparazzi to put the camera under your skirt and put that in the News at World. It was accepted. We were villainised. We were... The stigma that went along with women was so grotesque. But you get the likes of Dean Gaffney and things like that back in the day, everyone selling stories. It was acceptable. But if everyone did it on us, we're the worst things in the world. Yeah. But the narrative is changing. I believe the narrative is changing now for women. No, and that we both started off as page 3 models as well. They haven't got that anymore. Not that I ever bothered us.
Yeah.
But I would do it again.
I'll do it again. Well, I fucking do it on my OnlyFans. Discount on your way. Mates rates and all that shite. But yeah, for me, and for Kate, it was an era that, unfortunately, there's still old school journalism out there. Like recently, like I said before, this is about empowering each other, empowering men as well, but also empowering women. And unfortunately, these have been sellout shows. They've been amazing. And one journalist wrote a story who never even attended the show, saying people were falling asleep with our fucking gobs. Hard chance, mate.
And just bashing
and
for the sake of it.
And saying it was as dull as dishwater. This person is from back in the day who's also friends with a certain management group and a certain ex-pop star. It's a smear campaign. And I think to myself, and I went on a rant on Instagram, I thought, no wonder so many people find it so fucking difficult to step forward and talk about their mental health and their issues and ask for help when you have a national newspaper pissing all over 2 women who've hit rock bottom who are trying to help others. Why is nobody giving credit where credit's due? And it's lazy
to look
journalism.
at what you've overcome. It's like you use Ant McPartlin as an example.
People like to look at me and Kerry as an easy target because we've always been an easy target.
It was a given to sell the story on
But
Kate
now
and
because
Kerry.
you've got social media, podcasts, that we've got a voice, we now can use that to help turn other people's lives around. To go, do you know what? We have been through it. We've been through the relationships. We've taken the drugs. We've been bankrupt. I mean... There's nothing more anyone can actually say about us. We've been exposed in every single way. And we're not media trained.
No.
We've never been media trained. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're
People
still here.
can relate to us.
Yeah.
Even in the TV industry, there is a false expectation of what the public should be living up to. And they're all full of shit. Oh, my life's perfect. My life's this. There's no drama in my life. Bullshit. There's drama in our lives and we'll take accountability and we'll be open and honest about it. Yeah. It was never... For me, it was like with all the people who I grew up with, like all my mum's mates and all that kind, and with me mum. It was never in the showbiz circles, ever.
And the people who I was doing it, I was going out with, there were people who lived next door to me. They were friends I was with and no one ever says anything about them. Like,
because it's your name.
This is what I mean.
Because it's
but they were all involved in it as well, and I'm the one who suffered.
I think with that as well, like everything that you've gone through, And I think, look, I mean, again, I don't know you two. I know what the press shows me of you two, but it looks like you've had some really incredible highs, like what you've got now, and then obviously all your, lows are really, really put bare as well. But you're sitting here today. You've been through what you've been through. You're still standing. You're still talking about it. What do you think that says about the power of ownership of your own story, about the power of recovery, and about you two as people as well?
You take accountability and stop blaming the world, because I was a very victim mentalism. It was my childhood. It was Brian's fault for leaving me. It was my account. I deserved a line. I deserved a line. That for me, it's like being in a rocking chair going back and forth. So you have to wake up one day and go, right, what do I want to do? What kind of person do I want to be? I woke up this morning. That's the first thing I smile about. I woke up.
Accept it. Yeah. You've got to accept it, move on. There's no point being... What's in the past is in the past.
It's surrendering yourself to it.
Accept it, like own your shit and get on with it. We could sit here and blame, well, this happened, that happened. Yeah, it did, and why we got into situations. But it is what it is. And I can't tell anyone anymore how powerful it feels to get through it all, own it, and help yourself and help others. It's the best feeling, and it's not about money. It's nothing about that.
Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Pay it forward. Just a real quick one on that accountability. When did the penny drop for you about taking accountability? Because it sounds so simple, doesn't it? Just take ownership of your actions, but it isn't as easy as that.
I actually went to a boot camp for Close magazine. Look how much weight I lost. I was married to Mark Croft at the time, and it was the first time I was away from him. And the first week I really struggled. I actually turned up off my head on coke. And I remember sitting there with my mum as my driver pulled up, and I was having a line on our tray that we had. And I sat there. I don't like something. I thought I just wanted to get out. I didn't want the thing is, you're chasing that buzz. There's no buzz like that first line you used to have. There just isn't. And and it just got to a point where, I know it makes me feel sick. It got to a point where I was just like, I said, I don't want this life anymore. I'm done. And I got in the car. I got to the boot camp. It was nothing to do. It was a weight loss thing. Yeah. And the first week I really struggled. And the second week, it was like putting glasses on and being able to see, like the trees were green. It's such a cliche.
No, but
it's like coming out of a comb and the
fog.
I'm thinking, I feel fucking really great. I didn't need anything to give me a high, because I was getting that from exercise in the fresh air and going on walks and being surrounded by people. Everyone went there for like weight loss, but it turned out to be a much deeper meaning. By the third day, you're all sort of, I'm drinking too much. I thought, fucking hell, I'm not here on my own. It wasn't a rehab that changed it. I loved going to rehab because it was a fucking break. I'll go back there tomorrow, just get away from bastard kids. You know what I mean? Honestly, that's why it's good probably sometimes, just to get away from all the shit. And for me, it turned out to be so much more than that. And I eventually ended up going back home to Mark, and something just changed. It was like I could, just like, you remember, in the winter, that crisp, fresh air that you get.
Winter's morning sort of thing, yeah.
And that's
feel it on your lungs.
And for me, I was like, I didn't want to go back home, because I knew the saying goes, you lie down with dirty dogs, you're going to get fleas. And I knew that's what's going to happen. And I started speaking to Nick and Eva Speakman, and I started naturally getting into podcasts and affirmations and gratitude books. And it's a cliche, and people go,
I get it though.
I've got this one into it. I've got Lewis into it. And as much as everyone took the piss out of me, that is, I don't listen to music if I'm getting ready. Affirmations.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. That's almost like my positivity, because unfortunately, you have like 60,000 thoughts a minute or a day, something like that. And those negative ones, sometimes they can latch on, that little hijacker in your head. So every day I get up, I'm so grateful for this brand new day of opportunity. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I open myself to the universe, and I trust in the unfolding of my life. And I do that for 10 minutes a day.
I do get about the negativity, because even like with these shows that you do, and you could have 50 positive reviews, but if there's one that's negative, you focus on the negative, don't you?
We used to, but I don't do it anymore.
That's good to hear that.
I used to. I was so, especially in the coke days, I used to be obsessed, like going on Facebook, because like we're old school, like just when that came out, and there'd be 20 reviews of that one word. That one negative comment is what would latch on. And now what journalists are doing, lazy fucking journalists. I had Harvey on stage and we're singing Whole Again, having a great time. He loved it. I got called a wrong'un in the national newspapers for singing Whole Again with Harvey, because 5 comments of sick fucking individuals turned that song into something very sexual between me and Harvey.
Fucking hell, Jesus.
250 amazing comments. So what
how
the
nice it
reporters
was.
do,
The jump on.
they pick those 5 comments out of 250 of these 5 sick individuals, turn it into something it wasn't, and make that into a national headline. It's fucked.
I get that.
My turning point was I woke up from committing suicide because I was in denial to everyone that there was a problem. I'm like, I'm fine. Even though people knew I wasn't, I'm like, I'm fine. Just leave me alone. I'm fine. I'll do this. I'll do that. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll ring them back. I'll do that. When inside, I just really want to say, no, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to kill myself. I don't want to be here. So the fact of waking up from me committing suicide, I was like, fuck, it sort of shocked me, scared me. And the thought of my kids ever getting that phone call. But when you're that ill and that mentally ill and like, you just don't want to be here anymore. And then that's when I went in the Priory and just thought, do you know what? My kids need me. They're my world. And if it weren't for my kids, I would have tried to commit suicide again and kill myself. But I wouldn't do it, and I got help, and I've never, ever, ever looked back again.
The suicide one's always a really interesting one, because much like yourself, when you've made an attempt and you survive, when you talk to people, they always say, it's not that I wanted to kill myself, I just wanted to stop feeling the way that I was feeling.
No,
and
I
that's
OD'd.
the penny fucking drop,
No, I
isn't it?
didn't.
Myself.
I OD'd
No, I did.
twice on coke, had a fit in front of my mother doing it. First time it happened, I'd been up for days. I used to be obsessed with the Xbox, me and my mum. I had a fit. Don't even remember having the fit. Got up and went and had another line straight away.
Yeah.
Twice. And the second time, I'll never forget, it was like, it was a near death. It was the most beautiful feeling. It's so wrong to say it. But I was with Mark Croft in the bedroom. I started fitting, stopped breathing, but I had these 3 white glows. But when I came back around, I've never felt so much love. It was the most unbelievable feeling ever. But I still got up and went and did it because I wanted to go back to that feeling of being loved. I tried to do it to myself again.
Whereas,
but
me, I did want to die. I didn't want to be here.
Why? What?
And that they say people who are always like, I'm going to die, I'm going to kill myself, they're normally the ones that don't.
That's
it's
it,
the
isn't it?
silent
Yeah.
ones. I was the silent one.
Yeah.
I felt ashamed, helpless, worthless, not good enough. But
Embarrassed.
I was just not in a good place.
And how long ago was that?
4 years ago or something. Wasn't that long ago.
How do you think, looking back at where you was? Because again, that's a very short period of time. Like sitting here
Awful,
today and looking at that.
Because I dealt with it straight away then. But it was many years of it all starting in my head, in the car.
It's a process, isn't it? Yeah.
Process. To the point, it's like, no, that's it, I'm done now. Because I would drive past trees and look at trees and think that would be a good place to hang myself and things like that. Thought about doing it in my field. But no, I did it in the toilet. And yeah, never, ever looked back again. It frightened me like that. Now I'm at the other side, how selfish I would have been. How selfish. And all I had to do was just ask for help.
And it's the bravest thing anyone can do is ask for help.
Because if I don't go to work, no one else will. And it was the fact of everyone going, ha, you're fucked. What, you was on drugs? You haven't got this, you're going through this, you're going through it. It's that. So I'm like, I knew I was done. Just didn't want to be here. Wanted to be dead. Fuck you all, I'm gone. And then I survived it.
Thank you, Katie, and thank you for sharing that as well. I know we're pressed for time, so I'm just going to wrap up. I want to do a quick fire 10 questions, what I asked all my guests. What's your favourite word?
Cunt.
What's yours?
Fuck.
Least favourite word?
Cunt.
Bastard.
Tell me something that excites you.
Family. Kids.
Something that doesn't excite you.
Negativity.
Yeah, negativity.
It's like you fucking sink head.
No, we are. We're like
this is what I can imagine. What sound or noise do you love?
Oh, crime,
Laughter.
listening to crime soothes me.
What, like crime documentaries and
Yeah,
stuff?
I fall asleep.
That's a lot of people. I think that's
It's
mental.
trauma.
Yeah.
It's something that makes you feel comfortable.
As soon
Listening
as
to
I go
other people's-
sleep, crime's on.
Yeah.
When I'm driving, I listen to crime.
We
I have to
lie
be
in
quiet.
bed together, like on a day off, we don't even speak and we just watch fucked up shit.
Favourite swear word?
Yeah, it has to be cunt.
Cunt.
If you wasn't doing what you was doing, what profession would you like to attempt?
Paramedic.
Oh, nice.
Social worker.
What profession would you not like to do? Worst job you can imagine doing?
Being
Bin man.
dictated by someone.
Bin man, the smell.
And then lastly, if God exists, what would you like to hear him say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You can now protect your family and kids.
That's very nice.
I just want to get through bastard gates.
Just get me in and then I'll sort it out afterwards.
Yeah.
No, thank you both for joining me on Believe in People. You've been it's been much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you
very
for
much.
having us.
And if you've enjoyed this episode of the Believe in People podcast, we'd love for you to share it with others who might find it meaningful. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and leaving a review will help us reach more people and continue challenging stigma around addiction and recovery. For additional resources, insights and updates, explore the links in this episode description, and to learn more about our mission and hear more incredible stories, you can visit us directly at believeinpeoplepodcast.com.